Well, good morning. It's Friday, everyone. I hope we are having a wonderful morning so far. Oh, goodness, it's a Friday. The weekend is here. I get to see my beautiful granddaughter tomorrow, which I'm always so excited about. And so far this morning, I have put on my color corrector. I have put on my primer. I have put on my moisturizer. I'm about ready to put on my wonderful KVD foundation, which I just adore this stuff. I think it's because the consistency it goes so far, but the consistency is such that it's really, I don't want to say it's watery. That's not what it is. It is incredibly hydrating, first of all. It gives me really nice coverage for such a light foundation. I think that and the moisture that I get from this foundation, I think, is what blows me away more than anything. Those two things, because I hardly use any on my face, and look how far this has gone. And I'm not even through blending it yet, and it is already covered the majority of my face with a really good coverage amount. I mean, you can see just by looking at when I use my sponge here, the kind of coverage that I'm getting. And you're probably asking me, okay, Carrie, you tell us all the time that you use your fingers. Why are you using a sponge? Well, there's a couple of reasons I'm using a sponge. I have an infection in one of my fingers. Unfortunately, I went to a nail salon, a new nail salon, new to me and new to the public. Extremely clean salon, probably the cleanest salon I think maybe I've ever been in. If you go have your nails done, you know what I'm talking about when I say it's clean. It didn't smell. It wasn't covered in dust. Now I know it's new, but there was no food smell. Ugh, can't stand it when I go into those nail places and you smell food. Ugh. So there was no food smell. The bathrooms were spotless. What I like so much is that the techs were all in uniform, so it had the look and feel of a day spa, which I thought was really nice. And for what we're spending now for our nails, it hurts me to even say and pay what we have to pay for our nails. I remember when we used to go and have acrylic nails done, and you used to pay $40 for a set. And this was years ago. I'm talking years ago. You used to go in and pay $40 for a set, and then you could go in and pay $18, $19 for a refill, right? You don't have to put a tip on. And then if you had to buy an extra, if you had a broken tip, you'd pay for it. Well, now they have all these new funky processes, the dip and all that, where they're constantly taking off what they've put on. And so technically you're getting a new set every time you walk into the salon. And, I hear all the time, oh, so much better for your nails. Come on. Were we all born yesterday? I don't think we were. But anyways, it is what it is, I mean, for me, unfortunately, I can never grow nails. And since my weight loss surgery, I certainly cannot grow nails. That's one of probably the hardest side effect for me that I have faced in my weight loss recovery, besides just still struggling to eat. And that's an ongoing thing. That's not something you're going to get over in a year or even 2 years. It's just an ongoing an evolving process when you have weight loss surgery. But my hair and my nails really, really took a hit with my surgery. Let me just check out how I blended here since I'm blind as a bat. I can't see to save my neck. Looks pretty good. What I don't like with my foundation, it drives me crazy actually. I'd be really interested to hear from you if this drives you crazy too. Is I don't like to see heavy foundation around my lips. To me, that doesn't look right, and I don't like to see that heaviness around my lips. But so anyways, I went in and I'm not using my fingers today because I have an infection where the file actually cut my cuticle, and so I'm trying to keep it really, really clean, to the best of my ability anyways. I'm just gonna put my lipstick on now because my lips are really dry. Really, really dry for some reason. Haven't been sleeping well. I've had, as you know, my last few videos, I've had a lot of sorry, you know I can't talk and put lipstick on at the same time. What a dork. Anyways, I had a lot of breakthrough pain during the day and at night, and I think it's because I'm under a lot of stress right now. I have a lot going on in my professional life. I feel really beat up right now in my professional life. It's probably been the hardest 18 months professionally in my entire career. And I bet if you asked other entrepreneurs, and I know other insurance agents will tell you the same thing, but I hazard a bet if you asked other entrepreneurs, you know, if they've struggled the last 18 months, I'm pretty confident the majority of them are going to tell you yes too. We just live in really difficult times. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is struggling. You know, I was listening to a podcast, which I try to listen to a positive podcast every day. And just to start my day off right and to give my gratitude and, you know, those things, because it's important. I think it's important to talk about those and be happy and be grateful for what we have a beautiful Friday morning. It is absolutely perfect day here in Houston, which we haven't had in quite some time. Absolutely beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, little crisp in the air. And this is kind of what happens as we get towards the end of April, and then the heat will hit us within probably 3 weeks. But we're all struggling, and I am really struggling professionally, more so than I have really ever struggled in a couple of areas. And I'm not normally stumped. I normally can work my way out of it and find solutions, but I am really struggling with so many facets of all 3 of my companies. My insurance agency is doing really well, and I've got a lot of clients, and I absolutely adore my clients, all of them. I just lost a client 2 weeks ago who I've had for 13 years. Oh, and that makes me really, really sad. You know, you have life experiences. I've had life experiences with them and their family, and I've seen things happen in their family and changes and marriages and, you know, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And it's sad to lose clients that I've had for so long. I lost my mother. Still can't believe she's gone. I have a family of cardinals that greet me every morning when I come from my house to my office, because my office is at the back of my property, my permanent building where I house all my businesses. And the last week I've had this couple, a male and a female red cardinals, and of course they're signs of loved ones and spirits and angels, and I believe in all of that. And this beautiful pair of cardinals has greeted me every morning. But anyway, so, you know, just have really struggled to sleep. I'm struggling to sleep. Okay, I'm using this beautiful palette. I just used my Milani bronzer here, which I really, really like. A little heavy-handed today, but it'll blend out when I put my powder on and get all that done. So I'm using this beautiful LA Colors nude palette. I love this palette. I almost bought it again the other day. It was at the dollar store, and you're not gonna believe this. It was at the dollar store for literally $1.50. And I should have picked it up, and I just thought, oh, I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but I just didn't pick it up. And I got home, and I'm like, you know, that was really stupid. Why didn't you just pick? You love that palette. Why didn't you just pick it up? But anyways, okay. So I'm coming in on my transition here this morning. I'm using this taupey, this color right here. Putting that up into my transition and then up on my brow bone. I got a comment yesterday from somebody responding to one of my previous videos, and they were like, you're not supposed to put that up there. You're not supposed to go all the way up there like that. You're supposed to keep that in your crease. And guys, you know how I feel about makeup and doing what works for you. You know, we makeup influencers are here to demonstrate techniques and ideas and give you opinions and reviews, right? I am never going to tell you what to do or tell you that I think what you're doing is wrong. I'm never going to do that. How presumptuous. I mean, really, how presumptuous. Now I'm coming in and I'm picking up this rusty color. I've got a really beautiful rusty peachy color. And I'm going to bring that down right in here. This is going in my crease, right in here. This peachy color. And this color is also going to go down on my bottom waterline and my top waterline to define my eyes. I mean, how presumptuous. Just because I'm doing it one way and I'm demonstrating to you what I like, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like it. I'm just here to give you options and to talk to you about what we're all passionate about. If you watch these videos, we're passionate about makeup. I believe makeup is an extremely powerful tool. And it can transform somebody's confidence, right? Because look, if you feel good and you look good, you are going to show that in your, to the outside world. If you are happy with the way you look and you have confidence in the way you look, that is going to show up, and it's going to be what people see. And I wouldn't want anybody to feel like they have to do anything that I say. It may not, you know, it may not be your cup of tea. It may not be what you like or makes you look good. You have to find what looks good for you. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's my right or anybody else's right to say, you know, that's not right, or you shouldn't do it that way. You got to figure it out on your own. You know, we're just here to give you different examples of what we use and what works for us. Now look, you can see there's a tremendous amount of fallout on this palette. That's the one thing about these palettes that I don't like, is you get tremendous fallout. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to dust that off, and then I'm going to come in with my Laura Mercier setting powder, loose powder, and I'm going to bring this underneath my eye here. I'm going to use a lot because I had quite a bit of fallout. I'm just going to let it sit here while I finish my eye look, and then I'll come back in and I'll dust it all off with my brush. So makeup's a powerful tool, and it, you know, you gotta find what works for you. I gotta find what works for me. I've been doing it a long time. I'm very set in my ways. I know what I feel like looks good on me. What looks good on me may not look good on you, and vice versa. But let's respect each other, okay? Let's respect each other and talk to each other civilly. This is one of the areas that I'm struggling with right now, is people's inability to talk civilly. Don't understand it. I had one person tell me that they think the American people are broken, that we have lost the ability to be civil. And I agree with a lot of her statements. But what I do believe in my heart of hearts, we wouldn't be the world's greatest nation. I know that's very presumptuous to say, and I don't mean to offend anybody else by saying your nation is not great. You know, we all should have pride in our own nation. I'm an Australian. I'm very proud of Australia. I'm blown away how far they have come, and how much they have closed the societal gap between Australia and the United States. You know, when I was a little girl and my family traveled back and forth to Australia, you know, there was maybe 3 television stations, maybe. The generational gap between what America was doing and what Australia was doing when I was growing up was pretty significant. And what I mean by that is I would say 30-year difference in where our societies were and what we were doing. Now we are just so aligned. You know, Australia has all the things the United States has, you know, as far as in our society and the tools that we have, our technology. So Australia really has just stepped up to the plate and caught up, if you will. And I'm so incredibly proud of Australia, and I'm very proud to call myself an Australian. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and I just want to blend that darker color. See, do I have a little bit of fallout? No, maybe just a little right there. I'll fix that. So I came in with that really dark, pretty rusty color, and I lined my eye here and went back up like I always do in my little crease, and I made just a little like hook right here in the corner of my eye. And then I've got the lighter color down on my lid, which I always do. Because I have such incredibly dark eyes, I have to be really careful when I'm putting on my eyeshadows, because I don't want my eyes to be so dark that that's all you see is darkness. They are incredibly brown. And so for me, I've got to figure out ways when I do my makeup to make my eyes stand out. The best way for me to do that is to use this technique of shaping my eyes. All right, let me get my little, using a peachier color blush today. It is an essence. Just has a little bit more peach in it than the pink, because I'm wearing a peachier color today. And I'm trying to conserve my products a little bit. I have used so much of my Water Brat, and I don't want to have to go buy it. I'm trying to save it a little bit for those important days and important functions. I am so excited to share with you that I have 2 photo shoots next weekend. It's exciting, right? I'm so excited about that. I got my portfolio composite done, my online version of it with my current photos. Got that done, and that's posted. And I actually had a wonderful conversation with a gentleman up in Calgary who was interested in working together. Obviously, that's a pretty significant difference between here and Calgary. I'm in Texas and he's in Canada, of course. So, you know, that's hard to make that work. But I was very, 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 very pleased that he reached out to me and just gave me some positive feedback. It's always good to get that kind of feedback from people in your industry that confirm, you know, that you have a certain look, and that was extremely nice of him to take his time to do that. But getting back to my sleep issues, my stress levels, they're pretty high right now, along with everybody else in the world. And I am using my products from my mental wellness company to help me control these things. My anxiety levels have really been the highest, I would say, in 3 years in the last week or so. I'm using these products. They're plant-based products, and they are helping me just control my reaction to stress and my emotional reactions. Instead of being so all the time, I have a much more reaction to things. This week in particular, I have been very, very challenged with this because I've had some conversations this week that have really disturbed me. If you've watched my other videos, you've probably seen what I'm talking about. And it's sort of taken a pretty significant toll on me this week, emotionally, because I don't understand it. I just don't understand why anybody would speak to somebody, especially when we're talking about customer service related issues, you know, professional relationships, professional collaborations, if you will, customer relations. I just don't understand I don't understand why anyone would think that they could speak to me the way they did and use the kind of language that they did that I've maybe heard 2 or 3 times in my life. And I realize everybody's under a lot of stress. I get that. I really do. I'm under a lot of stress. You're under a lot of stress. Our finances are being pushed to the limit. But there's really no, in my opinion, there's really no excuse for being verbally abusive or insulting to someone who you have a working relationship with. I don't understand that. So it's taken a really big toll on me emotionally this week. And I've had some other setbacks in some other professional areas as well. Things that I thought were, complete and ready to go ended up falling through. And that's always, disappointment is always a hard pill to swallow. I don't care what area of life you're talking about when it comes to disappointment. When you're expecting one thing and then it turns out to be something completely different or doesn't materialize at all, then, it's hard to bounce back quickly from those disappointments. But I will. I have confidence in myself. I just have to take a deep breath and regroup and give it to the Lord and ask Him for patience, which is not one of my strong suits. I'm going to be real honest with you. Okay, so I have done my blush. Now I'm just coming back with my loose setting powder, and I'm just running over and setting my look. I'm just making sure I'm dusting off that excess. I want to check my eyebrows and see if I wipe them away, because they're so incredibly fair that I have to draw them on every day. That's why I do them off camera, because it just takes me forever, because I just don't have enough to work with. What I have is very little, and I've got to draw. Yeah, I did. I wiped it off. I've got to come back in and draw the color back onto them so you can actually see my eyebrows. So I'm going to do that with my pencil here. I'm just drawing the color back in. When you're as fair as I am, it's hard to get your eyebrows to look like really dark-haired women, because they have such an advantage because their hair is dark, and it just shows up easier. When you're blonde and fair like I am, it's a challenge. I know there's another influencer that I really do like to watch, and she's got very fair skin like me. She's a redhead. I'm not a redhead. I'm a blonde gray at this stage of my life. But I do love to watch her, because she has a lot of the similar challenges that I have, because we are both of the same skin tones, and I do love that. Okay, so I've used my setting powder. I have set my powder with my Revlon Color Stay. That's my go-to final step, or my Laura Mercier, one or the other, or both. I think it looks really good. I will have to put my eyeballs on and see whether or not we have enough color going on. We don't. I do not want to look like I'm a ghost with no blush on. So we'll take these back off and dip back into my Essence blush and put this on the ball of my cheeks right here. That's better. I hope you have a wonderful weekend planned, whatever you're doing. My granddaughter's coming tomorrow for the night, and so I'm excited to see her. My husband and I lost this beautiful 100-year-old tree in our front yard last weekend from the terrible storms that we had. It was too top heavy, and so the grounds got saturated and we lost this beautiful tree. I'm so disappointed. So we'll be spending a lot of time working on the tree and getting it cut up and prepared for our son to use and take to a wooden mill to mill the wood so we can use it, keep it in our household. It's such a beautiful, we think it was almost 150-year-old tree. That's so disappointing. You know what they wanted to come out and cut my tree down? It's already down. It's fallen over. They wanted over $1,000 to cut this tree up and not even haul it away. We're going to keep the material. They wanted $1,000 to cut this tree up. I think that's absurd. $1,000? I mean, I could see spending, it would probably take them all day. I mean, I could, you know, it would probably take them 10 hours, I'm guessing. But all they're doing is cutting it up. My husband's hauling it to the back. It's not like there's a lot of really physical activity here. We're just using a chainsaw and anyways, just another example of our extremely out of control economy and how much things cost these days. And luckily for all of us in this industry, I feel like the makeup industry has actually been pretty good about not gouging people at this stage of the game. Sorry for those circles in my glasses, but I cannot see without my glasses on, and I know that's very distracting, and I apologize. So I'm just coming back in, and I'm looking underneath my lashes to see how much volume and separation I have. Not enough, so I'm coming back in with my e.l.f. mascara in black. Love this mascara. And then what I will probably do is once it completely dries, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to recurl my eyelashes once it's dry. If I do it now, I'll have black dots everywhere. Thank you so much for watching me and joining me every day. I really can't express to you how much your support and encouragement means. I know there's so many other wonderful influencers that have been around a lot longer than I have a much bigger following, and probably do things a lot better than I do. I'm really just getting started, and I do so very much appreciate the fact that you even take the time to watch my videos. And you know, I'm here to try to help as many people in my age group in particular look their very best. I am 60, so if I can help somebody in my generation to have the confidence to wear makeup and wear it professionally, and in my opinion, I think it's conservative, especially during the day, then I would love the opportunity to do that. And I would really, really love it if you would join my community. We talk about a lot more than just makeup, obviously, and I think we all need to talk more. We all need to come to the center, because that's where real conversation starts, and that's where real change starts. And I'm praying that as a nation we can start to do that better than we're doing now. Come to the middle, because the majority of us are in the middle. There's the extremes on either side, but I think there's more of us that are actually in the middle than we think there are. And if we unite our voices together, I think we can make significant changes that will help all of us in the long run and save this beautiful, majestic place that we all live in and love, that we call home. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I sincerely mean that. God bless you. I hope that you spend wonderful time with your family, decompress, and I will catch up with you next week. Please, if you would, like and subscribe. As always, leave me a comment. And remember, at this channel, my name is Carrie Devlin Scroggins, and I am here to help you have a wonderful, successful life and have it all, because I really believe we can. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Happy spring.